Hey everybody, thank you for joining us on the TWNRGY Podcast.
Thank you very much.
What? I just wanted to give you guys some tips on where to find us. The main thing, well, obviously you found us if you're watching this, but
you found us. Thank you. We were lost for a little while.
Search. First one is YouTube. Go on YouTube and search TWNRGY, TWNRGY, and also do the same thing on Facebook. Search TWNRGY, and then also we have a Patreon account. First off, we have an Instagram account. Do it for the gram, y'all. Gram it up. Grammy season's coming up. Yeah, folks. Get those Grammys.
Award-winning.
Likes, comments, whatever. But yeah, search for us on Instagram. Search TWNRGY. And then also, Patreon. We have a Patreon account. That website is www.patreon. And it'll be /TWNRGY. And on Patreon, you'll be able to see our videos, and you'll have an opportunity to contribute if you'd like, whether it's monthly or a one-time contribution. There is expenses that are factored into this, whether it's posting and other things of that sort. But if not, feel free to continue to watch us for free and enjoy the material that we put out. And Adam has some other information in regards to how you can find us.
All right. The other things you could do to find a place to, say, listen to us on is go on Apple iTunes, go on that search bar, type in TWNRGY, TWNRGY, and then our podcast will pop up. Also, the same for Spotify. Just type in our TWNRGY name. It'll come up. And then go on Stitcher. It'll come up and you'll find us. And you could download an app for Stitcher and Spotify on your phone. This way it makes it easy. You get there, you're on the go.
Yeah, if you have Apple, it's already on the phone, I believe.
Yeah, you already have the Apple iTunes app on there. So, yeah, Apple, Android, whatever you have,
what
download
your affiliation, just
whatever site you find yourself on. Download Stitcher or Spotify app. Type in TWNRGY and you'll find us.
And once you do find us on YouTube, if you could subscribe, that'd be amazing. It's just as good as contributing financially sometimes.
You can subscribe on iTunes as well.
Subscribe on iTunes.
Don't forget that.
Leave comments, leave suggestions.
We're open for it.
Open, ready for any suggestions and comments that you may have. Just let us know. We'll continue to bring information about health and wellness. And just want to say thanks again for listening to us. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Adam Fernandez.
With the TWNRGY Podcast. Love you guys. Take care.
Take care. Love you. Yeah. Hi, everybody. This is a What up? This is TWNRGY Podcast. I'm Adam.
And I'm Aaron.
And we're going to talk about sauna today. I want to thank my friend Kyle because he was the one who suggested to Aaron and I. We were at a BIA meeting. And he's like, you guys do sauna, right? Because I guess he does sauna as well. And we were just talking about the benefits, and then he said, you guys should do tons of benefits. And he said, you guys should do podcasts on sauna. Here it is.
Here we go, and drum roll, please.
Bam. The way that we
action
it up. The way that we got started is at our old gym. They closed it down. They didn't have a sauna there. And then they opened a new one up the street at an old grocery store, so it was a lot bigger. And they had a sauna in there. And then it was Aaron's idea for us to check out the sauna.
I remember I went by myself one time and I just did it.
Towards the end of the workout.
Yeah.
And so then we started doing it together going to the sauna, be like at the end of the workout, 5-10 minutes, maybe building up to 15, and then sometimes it was just going directly
gradual,
Then it was going directly to the gym just for the sauna. We were doing about 30 and brought it up to about 45 minutes at a time.
Yeah,
and
nasty days, man. I feel like a California
without
raisin
getting
that.
It was like 45 minutes straight. Maybe all right, we sat down a little bit while we were in there, but it was just 45 minutes in that room.
No water, no dumping water over our heads like a lot of people do in there.
Definitely have to train yourself for that, but
it's a tough one.
It is cool. You go in there, you'll meet a lot of different people, share stories, and just relax and do whatever you want to do in there. It's just
a little bit of me time.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's interesting. It's fun. It's definitely maybe not for everybody, but it should be for everybody.
Just because of the benefits for everybody and anybody.
Yeah, just make it a habit. And we're in this podcast, we're going to just talk about some of the benefits, some of the negative aspects of it, just things you can do while you're in there, length of time,
Yeah.
and just, those are things we're going to dig into. So I'm going to pass it on over to Aaron.
Torch passed over here. All right, here we go. This is the survivor's guide part to the sauna aspect, which you need. So get your Swiss Army knife ready, as well as your canteen, because you need to get ready to get sweaty. You just totally drip sweat when you're in there, so be prepared. Maybe you don't need the Swiss Army knife, but definitely keep that canteen available, because you may need water either during it, after, before, all the above. But yeah, keep it available. First thing I want to let you guys know to have is that water bottle / canteen, which I mentioned. Also bring a towel. You may want to wear sandals. It gets kind of grimy. Like I said, everybody's sweating, dripping. I don't know how often they clean it in there.
Well, at least maybe the heat is killing some of the germs.
Yeah, I'm sure it's killing some of the
gets
germs.
up to about 180 at times, if not more.
Yeah, but like I said, bring those sandals, shoes. Shoes and socks get a little sweaty, so just be aware of that. You may just want to invest in a pair of sandals if you don't already have one. I just have some cheap ones from the store Mom bought me like 15
too many years ago. Too many to count.
But they still work. They do the trick. Also, like I said, you're gonna get sweaty, so be prepared to have your clothes fully drenched from top to bottom. So I don't know, a lot of people go to the gym or look like they could be running down a hot fashion runway or whatever the case. A lot of the girls with those hot new yoga pants, or the dudes with their cut off Gymshark for the girls, but the dudes with their cut off hoodies the hoodies have sleeves,
designer hoodies.
Yeah, no sleeves. They have hoodies. They're neoprene, sweat wicking, all that good stuff. So I'm like, man, like some people go in there to put on a show. That's fine for them. They're peacocking, trying to find a mate, whatever the case. But I'm just down there for business. Get in, get out. If I meet somebody in the process, hey, that's always a plus. We talk to a lot of people in the sauna, so it's bound to happen sometime. But yeah, so be aware that your clothes are going to be dripping with sweat. Also, one other thing you may want to bring is a phone or iPod, or maybe one of those Zooms, the
Walkman,
Discman, portable something or other, little boombox on your shoulder, throw some earplugs in there,
portable player,
something of that sort. And because you just bring earbuds, earphones, whatever the case, because
earwax,
you may want to clean it out beforehand. But it is a good way to kind of help pass the time. Just listening to music, kind of taking your mind off the fact that you're in a room that's 170, 160, 180, depending on if someone's opened the door a million times, which that happens a lot as well. But I usually have my headphones because I listen to a book on tape or a podcast, typically a book on tape. But I like challenging myself in not wearing the earbuds sometimes. It's kind of like being savage, just going in there and testing your abilities and just going on to the heat head first and just seeing how well you fare and how well you do. But also it leaves an opportunity to, like Adam mentioned earlier, to talk to a lot of cool people. We've had a lot of amazing conversations in the sauna, met a lot of cool people. One of our good friends now, LJ, she's an amazing girl. She shared a lot of stories in the sauna. We've bounced ideas off one another, and we feed off one another energy-wise. She's just a cool girl. But and then also there's just, like I said, just amazing stories from every different walk of life, whether it's science-based, religion, like it covers the gamut. There's one story that comes to mind. There was this gentleman, probably in the 60s or so, and he had mentioned maybe a couple of years prior, but within a year's time frame, he had lost his wife, his daughter, his siblings, and I don't know if his parents had already passed away, but the parents as well. So it was only him and maybe like a long lost cousin, I don't know. But he used to be a high school principal, he was retired, and just all that stuff happened to him all at once. So he ended up finding God at that time, and he basically is very altruistic, just helps people who are less fortunate, donates his time to charities, and goes down to Mexico from what he was saying. But it's just insane how some people use tragedy in their life to do bad things, and some use it and transform it to do good things. But that's just one of the many stories that we've heard. I don't know if there's any stories that pop in your head that you wanted to share.
No, I had stuff in my sections that I'm gonna be covering, so I'll just wait till I get to it. So.
Right, I don't want to jump the gun. My bad. Sorry about that.
Add to your section. I can get my section.
Bolster it up. Bolster that. Nah, but like I said, just meet a lot of great people and just learn a lot of different things. Learn from them. Whatever's going on. So challenge yourself. Don't put in those earbuds and see the conversations that'll take place. Just notice them and the people. And some people are shy. Some people.
What if you're in there by yourself? Are you supposed to have a conversation with yourself?
If you do, keep it in your head because people think you're crazy. You're talking to yourself. But just enjoy the time you're in there because there's so many benefits. And it's not just the health benefits, but just the psychological benefits that you get to talk to individuals and befriend a lot of individuals. So those are the things you'll want to know. You'll want prior to going to the sauna. Also, if you're driving there, typically Adam and I either run, walk, ride our bike, so it doesn't matter if we're sweaty, but bring a towel to throw on your seats as you drive home or change your clothes as well. That'll definitely help out. You don't want to get your car all stinky, smelling like a gym. But yeah, just go ahead and do those things just to be prepared. All right, everybody, the next section I'm going to be discussing is basically the parameters of time frame that you want to basically subject yourself to the sauna. If it's your first time, you're not really used to the heat, whatever the case may be, you may, like Adam had mentioned, you may want to start off at 5, maybe 10 minutes.
Probably 5 is better.
Yeah, I'd say
don't test yourself too much.
And precursor, word to the wise, don't take anything that we say as gospel. Talk to your physician, see if it's okay for you to jump in the sauna because who knows? I don't know if you have a pre-existing heart condition.
People have been in there in the sauna.
Yeah,
stories. Some older person.
That's my story. I'll share that one. There we go. Beat me to it.
The preview. What's come?
Yeah, because this is the story that he's alluding to. He's jumping the gun, but
I didn't know the gun was jumped.
Fired. But yeah, I'll jump to it in just a second. 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes at the very beginning, and then progressively add a couple minutes, whether it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, up at a time. Like I said, Adam and I typically do it for, maybe he mentioned it, but for 20 minutes. At one point we were doing 40 minutes, but that's just agony. Like I said earlier, I just feel like a piece of beef jerky after we got out, and my eyes were blurry, and I drank a lot of water. I sweated a lot. And that's one thing that you'll want to do is make sure you drink a lot of water. I know some people who go in there and they're talking about, man, I'm in here for about 20 minutes and I don't even sweat. That's definitely an indicator that you need to drink more water.
You're dehydrated.
You're dehydrated because what your body does, it holds on to a little bit of water that you do have. If you aren't drinking enough water, and it doesn't allow you to sweat it out per se, and so it holds on to it. And just be prepared. Drink a lot of water prior. Drink some water during if you want, and obviously some water after the fact. But what Adam was talking about story-wise, there was this older lady that one of our friends had mentioned to us. She said, I'll say she was maybe in her late 70s or so. She went to the jacuzzi, she went into the steam room, and then for the trifecta, she hit up the sauna. And so she was in the sauna for a couple minutes. And the moment she walks out of the sauna door, she gets faint, she falls back, cracks her head on the tile floor, blood just spewing all over the place. I assumed the lady was alive because they carted her out. And they had the ambulance, so on and so forth. But it's a dangerous thing for some people. If you don't know your limits, you just gotta, don't test them. Don't be too brave.
She probably didn't even know. She's like, you know, she had a wild hair. She wanted to do something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try this. Maybe she should have tried them on 3 different days.
But yeah, to each their own. I wouldn't push myself that far. Sometimes we do, and like Adam was saying, I kind of sit near the ground when I get to those last 10, 15 minutes. If we were doing it for 40 minutes because I don't want to fall, pass out, whatever the case may be. But also, just be aware if it is your first couple times and you do end up sitting on the bench, you do squat on the ground, whatever the case, get up slowly because you don't want to get like a head rush or whatever the case may be because you may get a little faint, you may stumble a bit. Just get up slowly if you're sitting down, if it's your first couple times. Being in there. But yeah, just work your way up. You don't want to be that person who him and I have gone in there. Like people have their peppermint little tubes that they're sniffing up, or I don't know if they have something on a shirt or a towel, essential oils or something like mineral oils, but patchouli, something of the sort, and it stinks up the whole sauna. It's a small confined area with a lot of people. It's hot. It smells. Some people aren't that self-aware, and they just plume it up in there with all that stench. It just reminds me of someone who's smoking their e-cigarette, and just wherever you're at, it just engulfs the whole area. But a lot of and just for base parameters for doing this, or doing the sauna, that is, for a lot of the research that has been done, experiments on people, a big parameter time-wise is 15 to 20 minutes. And like I said, do not start off at that time. Just work your way up if you can to that time. But when they do test individuals, it's 15 to 20 minutes, and it's about 175 degrees Fahrenheit. Those are the conditions in which they have found a lot of the results that we're going to discuss, benefits that is. But and it ranges like 2 to 3 days a week, 4 to 7 days a week, but 15 to 20 minutes, 175 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. But I believe, let me see. Oh yeah, a couple of the benefits I want to touch base on. Just in addition to this, it also helps to dilate your blood vessels. And by doing so, it helps to lower your heart rate. Because if you think about it, your vessels are constricted. That's kind of why you have high blood pressure. And by them being dilated, it helps for more blood flow to flow through your body. There was a test done in Finland with the same parameters I spoke of earlier, with 1,600 middle-aged men who had high blood pressure. And throughout the test, maybe they were doing it 4 to 7 days a week, but for however long the time frame was, but those men had a 50% decrease in their blood pressure throughout the experiment. Like I said, it goes to show you how beneficial this is. I don't know if you have hypertension or high blood pressure, but those of you who do, this may be beneficial to you in your long-term health and just sustaining and being a healthy, active individual. And also, it helps to decrease your all-cause mortality. All-cause mortality is basically anything other than an accident that kills you, whether it's diabetes, stroke, cardiovascular disease, anything that falls within those range or within that range, and that's not an accident. But I think it was individuals, men or women, that did sauna 2 to 3 days a week had a 24% decrease in their all-cause mortality. And individuals who did it 4 to 7 days a week, they had a decrease of 40% of their all-cause mortality. So it just, like I said, I love life. I would love to extend it as much as possible. By doing the sauna, it is theoretically, scientifically shown that I will have a longer lifespan unless somebody hits me with a car, shoots me, drops something on me, I don't know, whatever the heck may be. But there are so many benefits, and we'll cover a couple more throughout this podcast. I'm done with mine. And pass the baton on to Adam.
Alrighty. Alright, just kind of start off my section. One thing in research of sauna, I found out that saunas have been around in some shape or form for over 3,000 years, and it was kind of interesting that when went to Pompeii earlier this summer, had seen one of the first saunas. It was very large, and just the way that they the technology at the time, pumping in warm air into this thin cavity, and you could kind of see it throughout there. Just interesting of the sort, just kind of being in a sauna that's over 2,000 years old. So just kind of one of the first types of saunas in the world. And with sauna, when you're in a sauna, some of the activities you could do lunges, you could do squats, you could do some yoga stretches.
It's a little tight in there, so be mindful.
Yeah, but as long as you're in your little space and there's not too many people, you should be good.
I see some weirdos throwing like these little pads on the ground doing sit-ups and yoga moves, and it's packed.
What's their yoga mat? They bring their freaking yoga mat.
I know, but it's packed to the brim, and it's like everybody's already shoulder to shoulder, and this guy has real estate like no other. You can sell it and make tons through.
And then they're pushing you away so they can put this over here and that over there.
People throwing shirts on racks and drying it off. People go and
flicking their sweat on you. Anyway, aside from all that, then you can also just close your eyes, chill, meditate, kind of just relax and get deep into thought, rather than just, if you don't want to conversate, you don't want to listen to anything, you just want to relax and chill and just kind of melt the day off, and then you'll be good.
Sweat it off as well.
Sweating for the wedding. I'm sure there's people that are doing that too, but I actually seen that shirt there. But yeah, and just you can kind of go and just talk to people. One random story, just some friend in there, hadn't seen him in a little bit, asked him where he was. He said that he had a kidney stone and he hadn't been feeling good and he was just trying to pass it. And then some other person in there heard it and they were like, oh yeah, I've had 2 different kidney stones.
The kidney crew.
They started telling their stories, but it's just interesting. You go into the sauna, you don't even know some of these people, and then you're just like kind of telling a lot of personal information. And
you know, people TMI, some of the things people talk about in there, it's interesting. You learn from it sometimes.
It's cool. Like something in that regard, you kind of learn. I learn from all these other people's stories, and these other people can relate to each other.
Things not to do, and it's interesting. A couple times we've had people who are recovering addicts of whatever case, and so it's interesting to learn from them as well, like what they're trying to do, try to better themselves and stay clean or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, definitely that one dude that one time. But yeah, and just some of the side effects of doing the sauna is low sperm count. So if you're looking to go out and try to have a baby sometime soon, you might want to stay away from the sauna. So that's one thing to think about. Also dehydration,
as I mentioned,
because you're expelling a lot of water, and then you're just gonna feel as if like you're a dried out SpongeBob or something.
Especially if you've worked out beforehand, so you sweat in the workout, and you go in there and you sweat a little bit more.
You go in, especially you go in there, you're heated, and then you heat up even quicker and sweat even more than you would.
Sponge pants, square bob.
Sponge pants, square bob. And you could get lightheaded, similar to that lady, and falling and cracking her head open.
Don't be brave and test your limits.
Some of my personal long sessions, I've had cramps in my feet once I got home, and my hands.
My hands, my feet were like clawing
like
up.
Monkey claw.
I know, like grabbing on, hanging on trees.
And like 5 wishes. And
Simpsons or
then also had blurry vision. It's just from all that dehydration. I'm my guess, I didn't really look into it, but I just kind of figured. And by the end of the night, laying on the couch reading or trying to watch TV, like everything had like a blur to it. But even it affected my sleep as well. I just took me a little bit longer to fall asleep. It felt as if I was waking up a lot. Intermittent waking up throughout the night.
You're just warm, and like, even though we do a couple hours before bed, it just whatever happens. So don't go too far, too long, whatever the case may be. Too early to go into bed.
It's just probably retain that core temperature very high from the sauna, and you got to go to bed an hour or 2 later, and you still have it. But along with that is that I changed up, because I was doing it 30, 45 minutes, and I was having these side effects, and then I dumbed it down to 20 minutes each session, and I noticed my sleep's better, I'm not getting blurry vision, and not getting cramps. So I'm sure that those 3 things correlated with sauna, and all that's a lot better for myself personally, and I would recommend that for other people.
Well, I did the same. So my sleep's been a lot better. Sleeping through the night, less interruptions.
Like a baby.
Like a baby, something like that. But no, I don't sleep with them. I have my mouth guard in every once in a while.
It is a pacifier.
It's a pacifier, yeah. Oh, rubber nipple.
But yeah, those are just some of the side effects just to watch out for, and just be careful, but just mitigate it by not doing it too long.
Yeah.
To you.
Whoop. Yo, bye. What's an attitude? Some of I just wanted to add or try to pick back up where I left off earlier in my last section about some of the other benefits. One thing that the sauna does create within your body, it's called heat shock proteins, and just kind of the process of them being created as your body's having this distress of heat being thrown at it per se. It starts its natural defense mechanism. It starts creating these heat shock proteins because it thinks it's in trauma. It thinks a traumatic situation is happening. You're overheated. You're gonna die. So it creates these heat shock proteins. But little do they know, it's a controlled chaos, and you're just in there on your own fruition, and you're okay. But it's a good thing because these heat shock proteins help to basically repair muscle damage and ligament injuries, pain, damage, whatever the case may be, especially if you're a little gym rat, a little mouse going to the gym on a regular basis, working out hard, testing yourself, pumping iron, bringing that baseline up and up and up. Or even if you're just a regular novice workout, I like to get in there. I'm not a Arnold Schwarzenegger type, so I'm not trying to push myself too hard, but I'm definitely pushing myself in the gym.
You're so modest.
I am. I'm no Adonis.
Regular Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, maybe. Take my shirt off. But, so yeah, for anybody who goes to the gym, whatever it may be, if you have a nagging injury, when those heat shock proteins are created, it'll benefit you. And then another benefit of these heat shock proteins is that or just doing the sauna, it creates growth hormone within your body. So those of you who are doing steroids, HGH, PED, performance enhancing drugs,
you can do it.
Fear not. Here's an alternative that has more health benefits to you than those drugs do, and that is beneficial to you more on a long-term basis as opposed to a short-term basis, which those drugs are. You're not gonna get as big as you do with the steroids, PEDs, HGH, whatever the case, but it has shown to increase muscle mass, and it's more of a lean muscle mass as well. So you'll get more muscles, and it won't be like if you're taking creatine or some of these other supplements where you're, lack of a better term, just chubby muscles. They're actually more refined, skinnier muscles that are not skinnier, but just tight muscles that are being created, and it's not just like I said with the little supplements. It's not just water and water weight and water retention that's creating those larger muscles. It's actually real muscle that's being created, and it's nice and lean. But another benefit is the increased production of blood cells. This is beneficial because of red blood cells, and this is beneficial because it helps pump more with the red blood cells. It brings more oxygen throughout your body, especially your lungs. So what it does is it brings those red blood cells and oxygen to your lungs, and kind of mitigates and gets, cleans out a lot of the carbon dioxide that's built up. Carbon dioxide is basically a byproduct of the synthesis of oxygen within your lungs, and it starts to get a lot of that carbon dioxide out. So it increases your breathing capacity, increases your cardiovascular health, and
gotta breathe to live, right?
Breathe to live. Bring those oxygen. Get the carbon dioxide out. Because when you breathe out, you're expelling carbon dioxide. When you're breathing in, you're taking in oxygen. So get out as much of that carbon dioxide as you can. So you can, like I said, increase the lung span and your endurance. Whether you're working out, you're going on a hike, you're doing the stair step or treadmill, push-ups, pushing that stroller,
pushing a wheelbarrow,
pushing that shopping cart. Hopefully you're throwing some veggies in there. Staying away from the Fritos, the Cheetos, the Doritos.
Those are all corn.
Hey man,
that's
Fritos,
vegetable. That's
Cheetos.
A vegetable, right? Corn.
Yeah, it's not one of the good ones. That
it's
corn syrup. If you see after you use the restroom when you've eaten corn, it goes out the same way it comes in. So I don't know.
The corn chip.
Yeah, corn chips. No corn kernels. It's yellow in, yellow out. But that's besides the fact. But yeah, like I said, it just increases your endurance and helps you with that. But also, studies have shown that endurance runners, it increases their stamina. I'm not their endurance and how fast and how hard that they push themselves when they're running. I'm not aware of the actual percentage increase that they've experienced, but nonetheless, you're increasing your endurance, you're increasing your stamina. So why wouldn't you do something that is beneficial to you without having to take a drug, without having to take a supplement, and do things. It's a little bit difficult to do the sauna if you're not aware or if you're not used to being hot. If you don't live in Arizona, if
you didn't grow up inland.
Yeah, if you live by the beach, you have neighbors.
Yeah.
It's 60 degrees out in the winter and they have their AC on. My goodness, I don't know. It just blows my mind sometimes. But I don't have AC, don't run it. That I obviously don't run it because I don't have it, but just have the windows open and the fans going on when it gets a little warm. And the sauna kind of helps increase my stamina for being able to endure the heat. But also a couple of things. The sauna detoxifies your body. For example, I'll say if you're eating tuna, whether you're eating bumblebee tuna, any of those little
Ventura,
bumblebee tuna, eating that canned tuna, or if you like your sushi, like your wasabi or your sashimi, you're getting that. That tuna, that raw fish.
Heavy metal.
The thing about tuna, it has mercury, heavy metals a lot within the meat.
Not Metallica or anything.
No, not Metallica, Black Flag.
Megadeth.
No, not that type of heavy metal, but the ones that are detrimental to your health. And what it does, it detoxifies those toxins and it gets expelled through the process of sweating. But that's only half of the battle with the detoxifying. What you also need to do is when you get home and you're in the tub or if you're in the shower, get a loofah, or you can get one of those, I think it's like those lacy sponges that you see at Forever 21. I don't go there. I don't know. I don't think you can get it there, but I mean like
Bed Bath and Beyond.
Bed Bath and Beyond, Victoria's Secrets and their little, I don't know, bedroom or lotion bags or whatever the case, some sort of package. But get those and scrub everything. Bottoms of your feet, tops of your feet, behind your ear like your mom always told you when you're younger. Everywhere. Crevices, cracks,
Dirt hides.
Dirt, toxins accumulate everywhere. So everywhere from the bottom of your foot to the top of your head and in between. Scrub it.
Side by side.
Scrub it up, rubber ducky, a little Bert and Ernie action. Get it all off, rinse it off. Probably better to do a shower because then you're not just stewing in your own juices and you get out in the shower, you scrub it off, wash it off.
Still
bam.
on there.
Yeah.
If you take a bath.
Like in a bath, you're stewing,
Bath is all in there. You don't really get rid of it. You kind of scrub it off into the bath and it gets back on you.
And you just don't drink that water either.
Eesh.
But yeah, and then also one last benefit for all you who like to use your brain, which I assume you use it on a regular basis, whether you're driving, watching TV, doing homework. One other study had shown that if you do the sauna 2 to 3 times a week, it helps you to create new brain cells. And
who doesn't want new brain cells?
I do. I'll take a couple. I can spare. You can spare.
Hey man, I need those. Give them back.
But how many times, like when you're younger, you're gonna burn your brain cells out watching too much TV, playing too many video games,
smoking cigarettes, smoking weed,
drinking alcohol, doing whatever. I don't know, but a lot of those things people always say you're gonna destroy brain cells. So why not do something that creates new brain cells? You just put yourself in a little discomfort for a little while, and it'll pay benefits and dividends long term. I want a strong brain. I want to be able to do things. I want to do homework. I don't have homework, but do things that make me think, whether it's work, driving home, having fun. Do it, y'all, for your brain, at the very least. All right, you're good.
Hey, everybody, another benefit of sauna is that it can help to reduce the risk of Alzheimer's and dementia.
Those are big nowadays, man. 2 big issues.
Everybody likes their candy and not getting enough sleep. It leads to dementia and Alzheimer's.
And that's one of the top 5 killers in the United States.
Mm-hmm. But one way to kind of help prevent that would be for you to do the sauna 4 to 7 days a week, 15 minutes plus each one of those sessions, and above or at 175 degrees or more. This way, you're getting as much benefit from doing the sauna as possible.
Yeah, get those benefits.
And with doing that, you're going to reduce your risk of dementia by about 65%.
Yeah.
And you're going to reduce your risk of Alzheimer's by about 66%. So it's like a 1% difference between the two. But yeah, it just helps
And you increase the memories and know them and remember them for long term.
Yeah, so that's the thing I was doing. This guy's Still my thunder.
Sorry, Thunder Down Under.
Hey, what you doing over there? I'll finish this one up.
Thunder Down Under.
Don't touch me.
Whoa, dang.
But yeah, and that just helps out with your memory. As you get older, that's one thing that tends to fade. And so right now you help your memory
aside from your
in this
hairline.
moment. You get to help your memory down the line as you get older. And that way when you're older, you can remember about times you had when you were younger, going out, and still make those kind of memories and go and do things. Because it'll be right in the mind, and your body will be good, and you'll still be enjoying life. So go out there, make it happen, do the sauna, make it a habit. Hopefully you've learned a lot from us, whether it's like the benefits, some of the negative aspects, things you can do.
Some of the precautions, some of the things you need.
People you can meet in there.
Cool people, maybe your partner for life, who knows?
Yeah, it's just...
We're waiting for you.
Just, like I said, just make it a habit and go in there, do it, and try it out. Even if you don't like it, then you don't have to do it long term. Yeah. But even if you do it... even if you do it one day a week, you'll be able to benefit yourself immensely throughout your life.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this has been the TWNRGY Podcast, the Sauna Podcast. I'm Adam.
Aaron over here. Woo!
Yeah, just want to thank again our friend Kyle for giving the idea to do the Sauna Podcast. So, you have a good one, everybody. Thank you very much. Love you all.
Love you. Take care. Enjoy.
Peace.